A boy who is floating along a river finds a treasure that will always alter his life. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. Imagine yourself strolling along the street when you see something strange. Upon closer inspection, you find that it's a highly precious item, a rare baseball card maybe. Your day has gone from being ordinary to amazing in the space of a few seconds, and you can't help but smile broadly. Seems too good to be true, doesn't it? A youngster in Austria saw something strange floating in the water while he was sailing down a river. He dove in for a closer look, of course, and quickly discovered he had found something considerably more valuable than your average river rock. The Danube River, which flows through 10 different nations, including Austria's capital city of Vienna, is the second longest river in Europe. Sometimes the river has much more than fish and water, as one little Austrian child found out. The little child and his father set off early one morning to cruise down the Danube. They had traveled this picturesque route several times before, and the weather was ideal for a fun day at sea. The two sailed the placid waters, greeting other vessels with waves. The child soon noticed something strange floating in the adjacent water, so he instructed his father to halt the boat. Though they were still unaware of the nature of the odd things, they could see they were small pieces of paper when they pushed the boat closer. Where might they have come from, given no one was in the local area? The youngster dove into the river with his father watching above him to get all the paper. There were hundreds of rectangular pieces, it seemed. The child cried out to his father as soon as he had finally grabbed one and had a look at it. There was a lot of money floating in the river all around the little guy. The youngster and his father made a crucial phone call after he had completed collecting all the money. The father of the youngster called the police in the area. The boy's discovery stunned the authorities as well, and they responded promptly. Finding so much money floating in the river was impressive. According to Austrian legislation, the finder receives 5 to 10% of the entire amount when money is located and given in to the authorities, provided the money isn't connected to any illicit activities. And this little youngster discovered something like $15,000. $11,500 was the split that went to the youngster and his father when the money was taken into the station and dried out. The police were unable to connect it to any illegal activity. That morning, the youngster and his father truly had it fortunate. However, they are by no means the only ones who have ever discovered something of value. Robbie Robinson, a native of Florida, had an interesting day in February 2018. One day, as Robbie was on his way to a client's house, he noticed a big bag laying on the side of the road. Robbie had his own pest treatment company. He stopped his truck and took a quick look inside. Robbie looked down at heaps of cold, hard cash and his mouth fell open. A bank receipt containing the address of the bank where the money was just taken was also found in the bag. Robbie went straight to the location shown on the receipt. When Robbie revealed what had transpired to one of the bank tellers, they were shocked by his honesty, because most individuals would have kept the money and remained quiet. Before he departed, Robbie took a photo of the bag and uploaded it on Facebook in the hopes that its true owner might one day come forward to claim it. Before long, a man by the name of Robbie Lewis noticed the post and replied right away. He claimed ownership of the money sack and admitted to being anxious ever since he misplaced it. The rightful owner eventually received his money, and both men were able to relax. Well, those two tales seem almost too fantastic to be true. Then this third case will seem even more unbelievable to you. Early January 2014, Joe Cornell of Fresno, California, was going about his day when he was startled by something. He noticed a Brinks armored vehicle parked in front of the bank as he was making his way to a nearby deli for lunch. Sacks of cash were put onto the back of it by police officers. He never gave it any consideration until the truck left and he noticed one last bag that had never been put in the back sitting on the curb. The only other person who spotted it was Joe, so he approached and took it open. As expected, it contained $125,000. Now it did occur to Joe to consider taking even a little portion of the money. But Joe was making an effort to change his life. He was attempting to overcome a heroin addiction while residing at the Salvation Army Adult Rehabilitation Center, and now that his integrity was being scrutinized, he was determined to pass the test. Joe grabbed the bag and carried it straight into the bank. The bank staff was taken aback that such a mistake had been made when the vehicle was being loaded. Because of Joe's honesty, the Brinks firm was so appreciative that they gave him a $5,000 debit card. Similar to Robbie Robinson and the parent and son from Austria, Joe Cornell made the honest decision about his discoveries, and they were rewarded with quick financial goodwill. But consider discovering something similar to what these men experienced without ever having to leave the comforts of your own house. Historic homes may be enthralling locations. Purchasing historical real estate tends to be a wise investment if you're prepared to put in the work, even if they can be difficult to maintain as an owner. Renovating an old house can lead to a number of unexpected discoveries, most of which are not good. When a homeowner in Cleveland made the decision to renovate his basement, he was aware that there would be several unforeseen factors to consider. That didn't deter him from working to see his idea through to completion, though. Living in a family-owned, extremely ancient house that dates back several generations was the 35-year-old. He had already progressed much with the renovation when he discovered something exceedingly peculiar. He discovered one component of the ceiling did not appear like the others as he was disassembling it. His curiosity soon overcame him, and he chose to take the panel in question out. A green suitcase, which was completely unexpected, was hidden inside. Then he picked up his camera and began recording this remarkable finding. He chose to tell his wife what he had discovered instead of taking another photo. She found it fascinating. Together, they descended down the basement once more to ascertain the contents of the enigmatic suitcase. The pair was nonetheless interested about what may be inside the luggage, even if it wasn't a very hefty one. To demonstrate its distinct size, they utilized a baby-sized toy banana toothbrush. Nearly all of the case's construction was metal. It had an old rope fastened to it. When the man finally opened it to take a few more pictures, he was shocked to see a few well-wrapped items inside. Straining to control his enthusiasm, he proceeded cautiously and methodically through the contents, even making a list of everything that he had discovered. There were ancient newspapers lining the bottom of the box, one going back to March 1951. The man tried not to become too excited about the other gifts. He didn't want to lose himself in the thrill of the actual finding by entertaining wild speculations about what may be there. When he finally cracked open the first package, his dreams came true at first glance. He presented his wife, who was waiting, what he thought to be $1,000 worth of $20 notes. However, there were other surprises in store as well. The following box included $5,050 notes. They had anticipated finding something valuable, but not this much real money. Their brains immediately began to race with questions about what to do next. A cash box, hidden away in their basement for who knew how long, was inside their own house. Maybe the greatest prize of them all was inside the last bundle. Beneath everything, there found a bundle of $100 bills, a gold certificate and star notes, misprinted money that has never been in circulation. It was the mother lode of treasure hunters and the dream of historians. The guy and his spouse quickly contacted a lawyer to have the box valued and to find out how the law would affect their discovery, since they realized they were in over their heads. The man wanted to be responsible, even though he could have grabbed the money and claimed it as his own. He was aware that the money might not actually be his, and he didn't want to go into trouble. This man returned to his basement renovations in the interim and found another box that contained around $10,000. The couple found it hard to believe. The lawyer then revealed some information that would add even more excitement to all of these findings. It was determined that the $45,000 in cash actually belonged to the guy and his wife. The couple utilized the money to pay off their mortgage with the goal of purchasing a new house in a more rural region. It was an incredible blessing for them. This guy anticipated that rebuilding his basement would cost him a little fortune, but in the end, it brought him one. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.